Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Soul for real.
Soul for real.
Yo.
What's happening, my brothers?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, Charlamagne?
Good.
Now talk to us. What happened to Soul for real? Where have y'all been? What's been going on?
What happened to Soul for real? I mean, honestly, everything happened to Soul for real. I mean, we've been, I'm going to keep it 100. We've been casualties of the industry as far as a transitional time. You know what I mean? When we came out, it was 95. So you got to remember that was before the internet really hit. You understand?
Before social media, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So, of course, it's not only what happened to Soul for Real, it's what happened to R&B groups.
Okay.
You understand? Because right now the industry, if you really pay attention, there are no groups,
Right.
female or male. So I think we just really became a casualty of that era.
But
How about your
start
guys'
from the-
relationships with each other, though? Was everything still strong as far as the four of you really
For the
getting
most
along?
part, we come a long way, been through a lot, but for the most part, like our relationship as brothers it's like more or less irremovable. Like that'll never change, even if we disagree at times and stuff or go through things.
Right. Like
Because of
Jase
our-
is doing his thing,
the
you
way
know what I
we-
mean?
yeah.
We encourage, like I encouraged that a long time ago, before Chris Brown, before everybody came out. I saw that, you understand, that there was a transition going on in the industry. So I was like, yo, Jase, you need to be doing your thing. It was kind of, waited a little bit. So it's like people might think that we're not on the same page or we at odds with each other, but it's, we're family. So brothers and sisters have that.
I feel like it's even harder than when people are, family and then also doing business together and then also around each other all the
It gets a
time.
little dicey
Have to agree.
sometimes, but
Agree.
Y'all real
family.
brothers?
Same mother, same father.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. People say, "Oh, we brothers." I didn't know y'all
Right.
real brothers in the
Nah,
flesh.
we spent too much time together.
So for people don't know,
We got-
let's
we got,
start
like,
from the
the
beginning.
life
Soul for
from-
real,
Okay.
you guys are from Long
kids
Island, New York.
and
Right.
sir.
Wine
And
Dash.
you created
Real
this group
era,
out of what?
and
Just
then now.
singing all the time or what?
Well, we was on the streets and we just needed a change. So we just said we were on the streets. We needed a change. So we just pulled together because my brother Choc, he was doing his thing at a young age, and we moved to Florida and then came back, and it was kind of hard for us just financially, and we were going through a lot of family problems, and we was just like, yo, we got to do something, and we just formed a group, and
Right, so
use what we knew how.
but to answer your question, yes, it was a lot of singing. We before we got to the street, my father is a bishop, my mother is a reverend, so we grew up
You
in the
didn't have a
church,
choice.
right?
You
You know what I mean,
We
in
all
the
stem
church.
from-
Where,
So who founded y'all? Who signed y'all?
Heavy D.
I know
yeah,
that, but let
Heavy
them
D
tell it.
signed us, right? But
I thought Andre Harrell found y'all though.
no.
Heavy
And,
brought us to Andre.
I just want to let y'all know this is just awesome. You know what I mean? That this opportunity. I mean, we've been seeing you. We've seen you like years ago.
fan of the show.
So it's like this opportunity to really kind of bridge the gap, because a lot of people know the song, but they haven't seen us, so they can't put a face with
The
the song.
songs.
Right. The
So
song.
like Candy Rain and every little
Absolutely.
thing I do is classic records.
That's
man.
right.
if you want it,
So where did Heavy D find you? On the street or?
Nah, so we're gonna let you know. When we were on the streets, like my brother was saying before, peddling nickel and diamond crack. You know what I mean? Mind dance to
Nickel and
slums.
diamond crack.
Yeah,
go right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, because we never made
real
it to
talk,
the big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
the change was needed, like Dre said,
Right.
and we were well on our
Either dead or
way
in jail.
doing the music stuff, and we had David Turner. Shout out to Dave, he's still around.
right. So when I decided, I said, you know what? I'm not doing the street thing no more.
Right.
I decided to go work at McDonald's, and Dave was the manager at McDonald's. So one time, I was at McDonald's. I was washing the dishes. You know what I mean? I'm singing Boys to Men. Dave came up like, yo, you sound amazing. I was like, I'm not even the lead singer. You should hear me and my brothers. At the time, we had a corny-ass name of the group, Da Fizz.
What's it called?
Da Fizz.
Da
What's that
Fizz.
mean?
It was terrible.
It was the first two letters of our last name,
And the physical was short.
Short for physically related.
Right.
Got you.
So,
To
of
have
course,
to explain
after we
that
met
every time
Hev,
was-
you know what I mean? It was like, Hev said, nah, that name is done. But let me rewind a little bit, because we were running around to the different labels, and we'd be standing outside singing. We never really got the opportunity to, just the normal way of going about getting a deal because everybody just was like, nah. So one day we were at Geffen Records and Heavy D's brother's girlfriend was there. And while we were warming up in the lobby, she heard us and she was like, yo, you guys will be dope for this Mount Vernon Day. So it's a talent show that, basically showcases local talent.
Right.
So, of course, you already know I'm an elephant, my nigga. So look, she was like, yo, her name was Robin. She was like, yo, send the guys down. Now, mind you, she sent us right to Heavy D's house. You understand? Because at this time, Floyd and Hev, they lived together. Hev didn't move out yet or do anything like that. So it was like we found ourselves at 80, his address, 80 Bateman Place, his previous address. God bless Hev, you know what I mean? We're going to get into that. Yeah. But we were in his house. And we had no idea. We were looking around, seeing plaques and pictures and stuff. So, they told us sing. We sang all our original songs. So Hev just so happened to be home because, Hev dancing around, but he had a sprained ankle. And so he's down in the basement. So Floyd was like, yo, we're going to bring you down and meet my brother. Still, we didn't have no idea who this was. You understand? So we kind of putting it together because we was really feeling the Blue Funk album at that time. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, we go downstairs. It's like, what the fuck? This is Hev. We actually see Hev. So Hev was like, don't be nervous. Go ahead and do the same thing y'all did for my brother. From there, it was like, yo, I'm gonna introduce y'all to Andre, and then the magic seemed like it was taking forever. You understand? Because when you're on the street a week and we starving, we looking like, yo, when is it gonna happen? It only took about a year, but that year seemed like it was forever. You understand? So Hev brought us to Andre. Andre basically gave Hev the proposition like, listen, if I could match whatever deal you have for them, you got to let them come with me. That's how we ended up being the last group on Uptown MCA.
So but didn't Heavy take over for Andre at one point?
He did. That was after the first project, though.
Oh.
See,
I remember that.
When we started the For Life project, which was our the entitled album cover for the second album, everything kind of just was like the opposite of the first. Hev and Andre kind of parted ways. Hev had a position with Universal, so Uptown got switched to Universal Records. And the difference between that album and the first one was there was absolutely no promotion. Things were like, we were just always questioning things that we knew it took to get us where we were from Heaven. We never got answers, from him personally. And like my brother said, may he rest in peace and stuff. But I think a lot of what happened with the whole situation with him might have stemmed from just things that, was like maybe should have been done with us, that was promised to us, that we looked to him for.
Yeah, keep it in 100. I don't mean to
you good.
chime in, but it was certain things like that. I mean, of course, the industry is finicky, so it's like I really hate that Hev passed without us, bonding that relationship,
fixing it.
You're right.
So you guys were mad at Hev and felt like
got mad at one point.
Of course, Hev, he could have took better care of us because we were babies.
So you felt like
course we
Hev's
were mad.
passing was karma for what he did to y'all?
That's what I was getting to, basically. In a
I don't
nutshell.
say that, man.
Yeah, I was
in a
gonna say,
nutshell.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
That's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it to get the effect of it being like, like bitterness behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying it on something that is based on my history as far as like times that I've reached out to him, Floyd, and, there were plenty of opportunities that I felt that were given for us to, just rekindle
That's a good point.
and pick up at a pace where he could have lived up to the things that we was expecting, but unfortunately it never got to happen. But we never really took it and held it as like something bitter. I still always have the love that I always had for Hev. Like I never at any point look at him, and I feel like I'm speaking for my brothers too. We always were looking for that moment to be like, yo, look, Hev, let's do this again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but
the opportunity never came.
Being on both sides of the industry, you do realize, and it's effed up, but it's a business.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they look at things as today So For Real's popping, tomorrow is the
Somebody
next group.
else.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
right.
he's thinking about, I gave So For Real a hit. I put out an album. They're making money.
Yeah.
Now their next record ain't what it's supposed to be, maybe. Well, I got to go to the next one. I don't think it was nothing disrespectful. I think it was more like an assembly line.
I beg to differ. Hold on.
Yeah,
The reason why I
deep,
beg to differ is this. So for real, we didn't come out. It wasn't like have made us make hits. You understand? So just know that when you met the 4 street rats, and that you thought we was rappers. You know what I mean? We rugged street niggas. But when we opened, it was Archangel singing, and we were singing our own original content. So for you to sit here and mind you, we didn't know the industry. We just knew that we could sing. We knew that we can do. We had what it takes to really be relevant in the industry. But because Hev and everybody else, they know the industry, it was like we didn't get the proper
They took your publishing.
Exactly.
They took your masters.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not business. If we sitting up here, we at the crib, we done had a bond. It's a camaraderie. We chilling at the crib. Like,
Did y'all have a
How many
manager?
people does that happen to?
Everybody.
Look.
Especially in the 90s.
Our manager
Did you
was
guys have a
Floyd.
manager,
His
though?
brother was our
That's
manager.
the thing. It was so much
What
going
about a
on.
lawyer?
It
Did y'all
was,
have a
it was
lawyer?
a straight up
Huh?
conflict.
Y'all didn't have a
of
lawyer
interest.
either?
Hav's lawyer was your lawyer.
There you go.
Straight up conflict of interest.
You
His
understand?
brother was our
His
manager.
brother Floyd was
we
our
had we
manager.
shared the same lawyers. We always were hearing that these things were conflict, but like I said, we never.
Y'all didn't know no better.
Exactly.
We didn't
I
hold
got
it
you.
to him. We always were looking for the
So
moment.
that's the reason why I said I beg to differ, because we're hit makers. We're workhorses. So you have to remember, regardless of what, in the hiatus that we had, we know that the ingredients that it takes to make hit records. You deal with different writers and different producers. You understand? But when we know we were blackballed after we bumped heads with Hev. Then it's like, yo, he's the big dog, and nobody is.
So you looked at
fucking
him
with
as
us.
a brother, and you felt like your brother should
There
have
you
held down.
go.
Absolutely.
Did you guys
it's
have
still all business? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the harsh truth, but like there's so many people that happens to, and like my brother said, we definitely, we definitely got over it to a certain point, but just keeping it real.
Who produced the first two, the big records, Candy Rain and
Trackmasters. Yeah,
Shout out to
Tone
Tone
Pope.
Pope. Yeah, shout out to Tone
But
Pope.
y'all
about-
wrote them though.
Actually,
we co-wrote
you
it,
know
but
what?
we didn't get
Choc
credit.
is the one that came up with the whole idea of it, and then just like we were talking about, then Hev brought in all of the the writers and changed it up and took the publishing and did whatever he did and just flip, boop, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? So
Where does that stand now?
As far as it's like right now, and we were born and raised West Indian. With a West Indian upbringing. So you understand, it's like we rarely had, and we still have the knowledge. I can't even say the belief, because I know what goes up must come down. What go around, come around. You understand? So at the end of the day, I can't interfere.
You
with
went
karma.
full West Indian just now.
Right, but that's the whole thing. I can't sit here and try to interfere
did.
with karma and say, "Oh, fuck you, I'm gonna do this." Nah, God is gonna take care of it.
Have you ever tried to
Understand?
get your publishing back though?
We've heard, it's a battle.
Take money to
No is the answer to that. To
Right.
be honest,
It's a battle.
no. We've
Take
never.
money to
We
make
just
money.
kept things moving in stride. We got a lot going on right now that you guys
it's-
probably wouldn't believe.
Right.
But we came a long way to get where we are right now. Like, there's things that we're doing on our own independently that is about to make a massive difference in all of our lives. And it's like long overdue, especially for us and the things that we've been through.
So
Like
let's hear
we
what-
got a movie called Truth, the story of Soul for Real. That should be out this summer. And
We
we're
have
working.
a Caribbean restaurant in Atlanta. Of course, that's where we're based right now. So
Naomi's, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Naomi's Caribbean cuisine. Looking for a second location. Basically, my idea for Naomi's, and if you guys feel me or try to feel me on this, any mall you go to, reputable mall, whether it be upscale, low scale, or airport, you never see Caribbean food. You
Not
always
at
see
all.
every
Shout out to
other.
Jerk Shack at Garden State Plaza.
Right, but
She
that's
found
probably
one.
Yeah,
that's
I was
the
excited
only
when
one.
I was
they
just
had.
about to say.
That took a long time, though.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
took a lot for them
So
to get in there.
we look at all other cuisines, Japanese cuisine, Italian, Mexican. It's all commercially available everywhere you go. You don't have to go to the sketchy places. And that's what my, Dre, we plugging it right here. This is the restaurant. We are looking at our second location in Buckhead.
That's great. I'm from Brooklyn, so we got
Sweet.
You have a
Caribbean
plethora of those
restaurant
of restaurants
every
everywhere.
corner,
But
yeah.
down
And
in Atlanta,
I
Golden
don't
Crest
trust-
was always popping for
I don't
us.
trust the Caribbean restaurant if it's not sketchy.
yeah, but this,
It gotta be in the hood. I gotta feel a little danger when I go.
that's
I know, but
That's not true. It's not like that.
feel
And
like
that's what we're trying to
It shouldn't
change,
be like
because
that.
right now I'm sure it's to me it's unfair. I'm sure the Caribbean is one of the most visited
You're right.
places. You understand? But why can't it be commercially available to everybody? You go to Phipps Plaza. You might go to what's the malls out here? The high-end malls.
Short Hills. All
Right.
That, yeah.
You know,
But everybody loves Caribbean food.
There
That's
you
my
go.
favorite
You
type
shouldn't
of
have to
food.
go to the hood
But I
to
was,
get
saying,
that.
I was telling somebody that the other day, you go to any other community and you only see their own type of food.
Right.
You know, you go downtown to Italian area and you see Italian restaurants.
That's right.
But in our town, you see Chinese food restaurants in our neighborhoods. You see
Right.
pizza shops.
Well,
which
now
is
hold on,
very
come to
Italian.
Brooklyn. That's not true because we definitely got a lot of Caribbean spots.
But
in
you
Brooklyn.
but you don't have. I don't think. But that's just in Brooklyn. But like if you go to Jersey, it's hard to find a Caribbean restaurant. Places in Queens, unless it's the hood, it's
Right.
hard to find Caribbean
Right.
restaurants.
It's always been like
so
that
it's
in
different. It's
Brooklyn,
definitely like they don't look at Caribbean restaurants like they look at Chinese food spots, which is in everywhere.
Everywhere.
Or
Y'all coulda
Italian
did a soul
pizzerias,
food
which
for
is
real spot.
everywhere.
Yeah, but then
I agree with you.
Naomi's is my grandmother, so I feel like we been when we came out in '95, it was like we always promised her the restaurant. So it took 20-something years, but
Finally got it.
right,
Yeah.
and we happy for that.
Now let's talk about the identity fraud issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that about? It says 3 of y'all are indicted for identity fraud.
No.
I think Brian took the blame for everything.
I was gonna say, look, I'm gonna answer that and let everybody know that this is the actual first time that I'm speaking out about that. You understand? And it wasn't identity fraud. I was involved with some cats that really I had no idea what they were doing. You know what I mean? I was involved in a low level involvement with it, of course, in my search of trying to, stay relevant and keep change in my pocket. So it's intoxicating to start making a lot of money. And we all know, I don't know if y'all know, but Atlanta was at the time like number one or second in mortgage fraud. You understand? So they said identity fraud, but it wasn't identity fraud. It was mortgage fraud, and I definitely I was the only one involved in it. I kept my mouth shut, and that's really why a lot of people, I kept families from going down. I'm an old school. I'm from New York, you know what I mean? And not everybody from New York know how to keep their mouth shut, but I'm old school. So I was involved in the manner that I was involved, and I saved a lot of families. So I just, I was implicated. I say, hey, you said I did it, I did it. Let me go do my time.
Were you
come
the
home.
only person implicated, or were there other people?
No, there were other people. I mean, but it was like,
Only person in the group.
right.
Okay,
I was
gotcha.
just
How
letting
much time did
everybody
you have to
know.
do?
I did 5 years. I've been
But it
actually.
turned into the media saying that it was the entire group.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I read. I read
Yeah,
three
Guilty
of
by
them.
association.
Right.
the
And
whole time.
that really hurt my brothers too. I was like, when I was locked up, I was like, damn, I wish you guys don't do what we did with Hev. Don't not say nothing. You see, it's like we should have said something, even with Hev. You know what I mean? Maybe we would have gotten, a lot more looks from different people to be like, okay, you guys aren't washed up.
Right.
You understand? So I was trying to let them know while I was in there, like, use the light that they're shining on this situation to let everybody know, like, yo, nah, we're not all involved in this. B got caught up, and I got caught up. You understand? But at the end of the day, don't just
Not saying anything.
Exactly.
It's crazy because they didn't say anything about mortgage fraud. It made it seem like it was some type of bank fraud
Right.
and identity theft and all these. And
The
they
worst
said like
possible stuff.
260 people
right.
were
Yeah,
targeted.
That's Georgia. Georgia is a very penal state. You understand? And regardless of what they're gonna do, anything. You know the South. You're from the South, so
Absolutely.
it's
Easy to get in trouble, hard to get out.
but we as black people, we walk around with a target on our back. So regardless of what, we already know your freedom is based on your money. You understand? So it would not have even been that big. You understand? Had we had a boatloads of money, you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't even been involved with these cats. Had we have gotten our share fair. I was still searching to try and maintain the life,
That you
of
used
being
to
satisfied,
introduce.
of being successful on my means. You know what I mean? And that's just being able to provide for my family. I got 8 kids at the time. I had 6. You understand? So it's just really hard. You wake up and you're like, damn, we're not selling records no more. We never was getting royalties. You understand?
God.
So
But y'all getting shows though. Y'all do a lot of shows though. I see.
God.
the shows kind of dried
Throughout
up,
the
as
time.
you know, because it's like, that's
That was
It
like
goes.
our
That's
main
crazy
source.
because you hear Candy Rain at
all
every
the time.
party.
There you go.
Yeah.
You hear Candy Rain on the radio all the time.
time,
Like
man.
I would think that
It's
y'all would still get shows.
Yeah, like
Right.
we have been consistently working as far as shows and stuff like that, but over time it's like dwindled down. Like honestly, the past 2 years, like the shows have been kind of minimal, and that's partially because we haven't so much been pressing it how we normally do throughout time. But we have, like I was saying, a lot of other things that are going. Like I didn't finish mentioning them all, but you know, we're catering to our kids and the passing the torch down to our children who naturally have the same gift, and they have the passion as well. We just finished shooting some of the videos for our son's singles that we're about to drop, and along with that, I have a comedy show that I'm working on myself. You know, I'm just letting y'all know, like, in the course of time, like, there has been other things,
positive things
that we've been doing that is, you know,
Speaking
to
of
be
kids.
focused on, you know what I mean? And this is actually a blessing to be on this program with you guys, too, because, you know...
Yeah, y'all gonna have us lit just off of this. I don't even care if we was on here for 5 minutes. You understand? You gotta
Naomi's
remember.
gonna be
This
popping
is,
it.
there you go. You understand? So I have 2 broke ribs. I'm gonna let y'all know right now.
Right, yeah, he just broke his
Just
ribs.
broke my ribs on Sunday. 2
Oh.
broke ribs.
How
I was
did that
roller
happen?
skating with my
He
nieces
thought
and
he
nephews.
was showing out.
Oh
We
my
went to
God.
Cascade. we went to
Yeah.
Cascade.
But I'm letting y'all know.
You thought you was at hot skates alone.
Because when we was little, we used to be like,
Don't make him laugh. Y'all don't make him laugh.
right,
Right?
Back up.
He thought he was showing out because when we was little, we used to show
Hold
out.
on, y'all
on
making
skates.
him hurt because he
You're right.
can't laugh right now.
I'm actually still nice on skates, and I don't think that would ever happen to me.
Yeah, but you know, it is. I was just letting y'all know. We definitely appreciate the opportunity of just being up here. Like I said before, it helps us a
Facts.
great deal. We know our friends and people have been calling in trying to get us here, and finally it happened.
Shout
So
me out.
I salute y'all.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the record Candy Rain. It was #1 on the Billboard R&B charts.
Mhm.
Did y'all know it was a hit when you recorded it?
Honestly, I
Kind
could
of.
say no.
Yeah, well, to me, I felt like everything we were doing
Yeah.
had single potential,
I agree
and
with you on that.
I just didn't know which one they were gonna choose because we knew we didn't have the choice as far as what song was gonna come out first.
Right, but we
were
didn't know that
so
was we didn't choose that. We wasn't
No.
even feeling that
we were
Candy
actually
Rain
so-
as the hottest song.
we were shocked that became
We
like
actually
the
said
single.
that we didn't want that song to be released as a single. Remember when they asked us?
And they
which
said,
one- right.
"Okay, that's the
They
song."
said, which one do you guys want to
The one
release?
you don't like.
Right,
Right.
picked the
And
right
then
one.
They picked that one.
They did.
Yeah, they
Right.
picked
Why
the right
didn't
one.
you guys like it though as a single?
I liked every little thing the best. Of course, you know why? Because it was just lit. That was
I
the least
don't
one we
remember
liked.
not liking the song. I liked it. I just wasn't sure of the choice, like what it was going to be,
so
what the
it
single was
wasn't
going to
the
be,
best
or
Felt
how
too
good it
kiddie
was
at the
going to
time?
do.
Yes,
To you,
definitely.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like it was
Bubblegum-ish.
just way too
It was
bubblegum
a
for me.
comparison thing.
But if you listen to the
Oh,
content
okay.
of it, it's absolutely opposite from Bubblegum.
Absolute,
yeah,
it's
that's
absolute
R&B to me.
madness.
Right, right, and that's really, to me, I think that's what we lacked, in that time where we kind of started just writing our own songs, our own music, and even I think I heard where you guys were like, nah, we wasn't really feeling this stuff. That's you're not gonna feel everything, you understand? But we know that it's a certain chemistry that it takes to make a hit record, and that's certain writers, certain producers, you understand?
Also,
You look at
that-
Beyonce, look at Chris
also
Brown, all of
it's
these guys. They don't write
this.
all of their songs. So that's really what we lacked having. You understand? That strong, concrete manager. You understand? That strong, concrete lawyer. That's something we never had our whole career.
Right.
You understand? So just
So doing music now, how has that changed for you guys?
well, I mean, to me, we went out working with a lot of the producers and writers that we would like to be working with. You
I saw y'all
understand?
trying to get Chris Brown.
Yeah, well, I mean, he shouted us out in his song. So it's like, all
I was
right.
really like, what's up?
does that look like
I
something might
appreciate
happen?
that.
I mean,
That'll be dope.
we would
It
hope
would be
so.
That'll be
awesome.
dope. I would
With-
love
I
that.
honestly would like all of this to, play a role in it. You know what I mean? Because it would just be. I think that we deserve that. You know what I mean?
But to further answer your question about like the creative music process now for us is me personally, and I could speak for all the guys too. We've evolved with time when it comes to the way we create and make music, but the factor and the element never changes in the formula when it comes to certain things in this business. You know what I mean? Like my brother mentioned, it's always all about collaborations, whether it's writing, doing the singing on the record, production, And these are the key things that always have the industry to where it is. You know what I'm saying? Certain things don't ever change.
Right.
Although it does
Protocol
evolve.
and procedure. That just doesn't change.
When Hev passed, did y'all go to the funeral?
I was locked up.
I
No,
tried.
we didn't.
I tried my best.
I
That
told
was
myself
another
I'm
thing
not
that
gonna be
was.
at my own funeral.
It was.
You said
it
what?
hurt me.
I'm not going to no more funerals. That's
Yeah, I
all.
don't do funerals either. I always say that. I'm not going to mine if I can help it.
Exactly.
But y'all just didn't want to go, or
Nah, that's something I tried to do. Like Bri was locked up
mean,
at the
we've been
time.
Yeah, I
trying
think
to reach out to Floyd
I
and
think the
never
invitation
happened.
was not there.
Right,
wasn't
we've been
wasn't
trying
for
to
us,
reach out
which
to
was
Floyd and the
offensive to
family
me
for
a little bit.
years, but we don't get any phone calls back.
when did they
So-
stop returning y'all calls? At what point?
I guess the exact
After
moment.
the first album,
After the
really.
second album.
Yeah, no, it was after the first album because
Yeah,
I mean
because the second
my,
album.
my memory is pretty on point when it comes to this because most of the time during the Candy Rain album and even the For Life album, we met Heaven. We said we're all lead singers, but Hev had a different view for us. You know what I'm saying? So I was always on the outside looking in. I was forced to pay close attention. So the second single, this is what really happened. You understand? And Hev, the second single was Every Little Thing. Choc did the lead on the second single. So Hev wanted to have Jase do the remix to Every Little Thing.
That was
and
big.
Choc and Hev kind of went at odds with that. So Hev immediately was like, all right, fuck that. We about to just pull the plug on these niggas. You understand? They hard to work with. So automatically it was no more promotion.
And stop
So
to
the
check.
Every Little Thing just instantly, it went off of the momentum of Candy Rain by itself. So it literally, because we were contractually obligated, is the only reason why the second album came out. So it was like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna put y'all out, but we're not gonna promote y'all. We're not gonna do nothing.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Did you
saying?
guys
So
that's
have a
how it went.
relationship with Diddy?
a very short relationship with
touch-
Diddy,
touch
which
and go.
I have a book. We're working on a movie, and I don't want to give everything, but yeah, we worked with Diddy. I believe that, like Diddy said to us before he had 112, because Diddy used to be at Uptown all the time.
Yeah.
So and when we
A&R
just
up there.
right, when we just signed, Diddy was like, yo, he was telling us what he would do if he had us. You understand? And then 1996, we have 112. Everybody was like, yo, we heard your new song with Biggie, and was like, that's not us.
Right.
That's 112. You understand? So it is what it is. Shout out to Puff. You know
No,
what I mean?
Andre didn't want to say, hey, man, why don't y'all come over here?
No, because Hev had dibs on us. So whatever, Hev had always had the dibs.
Even after his passing, though, there's just
After his passing, like everything from dealing with Andre to anyone who was ever affiliated from our past was like pulling teeth trying to reach out to those
It's
old
called being
resources.
blackballed, man.
Yeah.
That's what it
Y'all
is.
remember when we seen Andre Harrell in the club? And
He literally ran
he
from us. Like we attacked him or something. Like and we would just come and say, "Hey, Dre, what's up, man? Yo,
Before y'all come up to him, and I know we got your.
I mean, he probably who knows what he was thinking.
I might dip out
We
too.
were just approaching the man.
What
and
year was
saying,
this?
Y'all
This was like
This last year.
that's funny.
Y'all look like y'all carry hammers now. I don't mind him taking
He said, "I don't mind him taking off."
But we always
didn't
been.
even-
I'm 6'6". Dre is 6'3". Choc
Yeah.
6'1". I mean, so even back
I'm
then,
6'2".
It's like we're big. We're big guys. People used to always be like, "Oh
What's
man,
up,
you
big
guys
guy?"
can play
Jase, why I
sports."
didn't
And,
see your size, Jase? Why I didn't
well, Jase is the runt of the pack. You know what I mean?
the
big.
biggest guy, the biggest guy.
Now, Jase, you did want to go solo. You did end up going solo, though.
I mean, I have the If You Feel Like Me joint. If you really know me, you know to go look for that. It's out there. You know what I mean? Just passing the time while I'm out living life. You know what I mean? My brother's locked up. Certain things. I started doing that 2010. You know what I mean? Choc, we had a little inside. Something was happening back in the days. He was like, I'm going solo. You know what I
Choc
mean?
was going
Bro,
solo first.
Bro, I was
Right.
locked up.
Mhm.
And I was like, crickets. Cricket. Well, what?
So when he said when he
Gotta
wanted to
do
go
something.
solo, how was the family then?
Say again?
How was the family when he wanted to go solo? Were y'all cool or y'all was it beefing? It had to be a moment where y'all ain't talk to each
I
other.
think bro was locked up or something.
you was locked up too?
No, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
tell
talking
you.
about
I'm,
when Choc tried to go solo. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, I'm gonna tell y'all my standpoint, which I
support it.
tell them now.
I love
I
it.
always tell them. That's why ain't nothing happen. with both of their shit whenever they go solo, because you wasn't meant to. The world's not feeling you on your solo shit, The world's feeling soul for real.
But I thought you said you
I
wanted
disagree.
everybody to go.
I disagree.
I know, but I'm just saying.
It's all about.
It would have happened then, right?
I thought you thought it's.
I think
It would've
that's a
happened.
weird- I think that's a weird analogy. 'Cause
It's like
all,
this. It's like
just go check it out. You
I'm
tell
gonna
me
tap on it real quick.
what I should have done. I have a couple of tapes out there. How about that? Y'all just didn't know about the shit.
I get it.
There was no budget there for them to know about it. You know what I'm saying?
The first talks of ever going solo happened with me because of certain activities and where we were personally when it came to being dropped from the label. It seemed like our attention span was going everywhere, and I decided to myself, you know what? If everybody's not gonna stay focused on doing music and stuff, like I'm just gonna keep it up.
You the Bobby Brown. You pulled the Bobby Brown.
You could call it that for our version.
I
But-
get it because life moves on, right?
Yeah.
Like if brother in jail and y'all just sitting around, like
No,
we
the
do
jail
something.
wasn't yet for
Yeah,
this
that
part.
was- okay,
When I
way before
decided to go solo, this was early of us being released and
Right.
actually off of Universal with the situation after the second album didn't do anything, and that started the first
Wave.
Yeah, the first wave of anyone starting to say that they were going solo. Took Jase years after that to start even getting on that wave. You know what I mean?
'Cause I'm a loyal
But I
guy,
never
man. I'm
pursued
just
it
a
like
real
that.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like,
It was just something I mentioned out of like the feelings. I'm smart enough to realize that even in whatever efforts that may be out there of me trying to do anything by myself, I always know better. Like the mark we left off, for me to full throttledly like be my full potential, we'd have to pick up somewhat to what we left off the mark.
And
that
ride
we-
off of that momentum.
and-
like
exactly.
I told Jase back in
And that's why
1996.
you're not going to see anything of me going hard like that until after now, after these moments right now that's occurring, and all the things that I mentioned that we have going on. Now is the time where you're going to see whatever individuality that we have
Right.
to project.
How hard was it to adjust to life after all that success?
Say it again,
How
sorry.
hard was it to adjust to life after all that success? When you got to go back to just,
For me, it was hard and easy.
I guess,
hard
civilian
and
life,
easy.
I guess. I don't know.
Right. Well, let me show, and my brothers could really attest to this. It probably was not really hard for me because I always knew that this was just a blessing and it wasn't ever guaranteed. Me and my brothers, we got in an argument, big heated argument. We was in Washington, and I'm the second to youngest in the group. I said, guys, like there's certain things I saw that we were, how we were really handling our career, and I was like, we're not guaranteed to be here next year. You understand? So we can't act like this is something that's, you know, it's written. No, we have to maintain this with a level of professionalism, a level of, you know, respect to our fans. You understand? We were drinking the same helium drinks that everybody drinks. You understand? At the end of the day, I understood that and knew that. So that's why it wasn't hard for me to really adjust, and it still isn't, because I know that also this is not forever. You understand? We came into this industry, we were given a blessing, a gift by God, and we maintain
Gift and a
that.
curse.
You understand? I don't believe it's a curse. We just maintain that.
Have y'all's voices changed since when you first came out?
Definitely.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I think
a little bit.
it's
How did that feel?
On
matured
the better
though, because I think right now I think I'm iller than I ever was because I have more
Yeah, me too.
control over my voice. But at the end of the day, I have no desire to do singing without my brothers.
Right.
You know, when I met Hev, I said, "Yo, Hev, I know."
I do too.
Jake's just here so he don't get fined.
Right, Jake been singing since he was in preschool.
you know what I mean?
Right, but at the end of the day,
I support
at the
the
end of the day,
cause, though. I said I support the cause. All of the solo stuff, I support it. Like
I do too.
To me, I'm just like, look, we all soul for real. You know what I'm saying? If Jase, you doing your thing, I'm the eyes behind you. Choc, you doing your thing, I'm the eyes behind you. Like to me, that's a given. That's how it should be.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Man Robinson, who's producing the movie called Truth, the story of Soul for Real.
What up, man?
And it should be coming out this summer. I just love how that
or is it
sounds.
something independent?
It's
No,
independent.
It's independent.
You almost got an ill story. I mean,
Oh,
I'm hearing this now, and I'm like, damn, this is
it's
an ill
about to be
story, but
crazy.
yeah, it's definitely just
It's
you know.
lit.
It's what you guys need to hear. Like, it's going to answer, like, see, what we're doing now is just answering some of the questions, but we're giving you guys a more in-depth insight about us and where we really, our roots and who we really are. You know what I'm saying?
Right, the roots and culture.
It's
you
gonna be
understand?
one of the truest stories like that you ever watched, or when it comes down to like closest. To, You know what I mean? The truth.
Thank
And
you
shout
guys
out
for
to
joining
me.
us, man. We look forward to hearing
Yeah,
more
We'll be
stories.
watching.
So for real is clearly still around.
Thanks for having me.
Now, can
We
hear y'all
appreciate
sing right
y'all.
fast this morning?
Yeah, we need to hear
Oh
it.
man,
Oh, y'all putting
Control
us-
voices.
Don't
What-
do it if
let's-
y'all don't think y'all
No,
ready.
no.
Jase
This
got it.
this
Jase
is
said, I'm ready.
this is
Let
this
Jase-
is
Jase
Jay
got it.
like, nigga, please.
Jay like, all right,
Just
this one I'm
Candy
going
Rain.
solo.
Y'all want to? I'm not. Listen. At the end of the day, that's what y'all have to start
do that one.
understanding. You,
This is off the Candy Rain album.
Do you want some Henny?
See, Jay's ready.
look, hold on.
Not that one. They don't know it.
Not that yet, right?
Nah, they ain't ready for that.
Well, you better show us a video.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Y'all can do
We
something to
can.
know. Y'all can do something to know.
That's what I said.
The young kids and the old-
listen,
and
this
old
is
heads
what
know.
I was just letting them know. Like when people ask us to sing, don't sing something new that nobody knows.
Candy Rain.
That's right. That's what I was
you
trying to
do.
let everybody know. Like
let's
you can't
hear
sing a
something.
song.
what you do.
My love.
Do you ever dream of
Candy coated raindrops. You're the same, my candy rain. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning. No warm up, no nothing.
I knew one of y'all was gonna jump in and do
Groups from the
that.
90s can always still sing, bro. I don't know what nobody sing.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys.
What's
It's
y'all
so for real.
Instagrams and all that stuff, man?
That's what's up. Our Instagram is The Real Soul For Real. Our Twitter is Soul For Real 1. And if you don't...
Jase, you want to give me yours, Jase?
Jase for real.
Yeah,
Jase, you wanna give us the
He's not gonna do it for me.
Jase for real.
Do it for me.
What you
know
mean?
what I'm saying? At Jase for real.
I wanna give mine. Hold on.
Plug me for you, my bro.
Chuck, you want to give yours, Chuck?
Mine is Prover_Chalk on
We
Instagram.
plugging Naomi's Caribbean Cuisine too. Go in there.
How
That's
y'all
Soul
get the
For Real
name So
owns
For
that.
real quick? Why that?
Collectively,
With
we all
Hev.
with Hev. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
It was-
honestly, man, Hev is like our brother. You know what I mean? And that's like one of my bros passing before we really fixed the relationship.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
was
yeah.
literally with Hev every day. You understand? All day. So he was like, "Y'all got to kill that Dotfish shit. That's over with. That's too popular." And he
It was
like,
dope how the name came up though, because
Right.
one of his boys, he was like, "Come on, let's see, like, what could we think of?" And one of them said, "Well, they got soul." And then another one said, "And they some real ass niggas." You know
Right.
what I mean? And then Hev was like, "That's it, soul for real."
Straight
And then they
up.
said it again, soul for real, and we all were looking around like, "Soul for real, wow."
Like So For
Run it.
real?
Yeah,
Soul
soul
for
for
real.
FOR.
Got you.
Like
And
these
that's-
niggas got soul for real.
From
Got you.
there was born.
And last but not least, shout out to Absolute Madness. It's a podcast TV show, Soul For Real. You can follow us at AMWSFR.
That's not last. Because also want to let y'all know, because I went to prison, I have a nonprofit called the SLAP Project, and it's an acronym for Successful Life After Prison. Now, basically with the restaurant, what I do is I hire convicted felons, of course, because just trying to cut down on the recidivism, and giving them an opportunity, because you come out of prison, you don't have an ability to get a job, you know what I'm saying? So whatever I could do to give back and allow, the restaurant's been open 2 years now, and we've hired 4 different people, I'm not federally bonded, so I can't go get, real killers working. I don't even think I would want them working at the restaurant just for, insurance and safety purposes. But we, everybody I've hired armed, they've had armed robbery, strong arm robbery. So basically, that I'm doing my little part.
People
So
trying to change their lives.
Exactly.
Helping them out. All right.
Giving them that opportunity.
All right. Well, thank you
SLAP
guys.
Project.
It's So For Real.
For Real.
Thank you guys
It's the
for having
Breakfast
us.
Thank you,
Good
Breakfast
morning.
Club. We love y'all.
That's right.
Appreciate that.